Bob knew all the New Yorker people, the New Yorker magazine, and they had a system of having people come in or send in ideas. And I'm not a lawyer, but I think it was called a quit claim. If they never heard from us again, but they were paid money for the idea, and they might never hear from us again. And under that system, we were sent by a wonderful conductor a series of things, and in that series of things about Beethoven, he wanted us to talk about Beethoven going deaf and how he could still compose, although he was deaf, which was not exactly an omnibus favorite work. But in that thing, he had sent a sketchbook that Beethoven kept, and in this particular sketchbook, it was the ideas, sketches for the Fifth and Sixth Symphony. And that intrigued me. I knew all about Dickens's notes, you know, and I knew authors had done it, but novelists had done it. I never knew that musicians did it. And so Paul had worked with Bernstein on the Town, and did not know him well, but knew him well enough to bring us together for lunch. And we did. And Lenny had never seen these sketches at all, and I knew that there was a photograph of the whole Beethoven Fifth down at the wonderful musical collection at the New York Public Library. I hope they still kept it, because they had a fantastic collection of music scores. And we went down and saw that score, and I remember coming out on Fifth Avenue with Lenny, and he said, "You know what I could do?" Because he knew the score, of course, backwards. He'd conducted the Beethoven Fifth many times. He said, I could look at where he would have put those sketches and why he rejected them. And that was the first program we did with Bernstein on television. And there's a famous picture which I have here, and I think you have a picture of it too. I don't know that I have it right here, but it's from Life magazine, and it was the whole page. And what Henry May had decided to do, and I don't know how that came about, which is a brilliant idea, to have the first page of the conductor's score on the floor, and then Lenny or whoever thought of it, because Lenny being such a theatrical man himself, put each one of the instruments that would have been on that thing, and so you saw how many sections of an orchestra were right from that orchestra score on the floor. And it became famous overnight, because Life did it within a week or two. I can't remember the date of it now, but we have the picture right here of it. And it is extraordinary. Roy Stevens, Bob had hired to do Omnibus photographs, and it was a great picture. Roy enjoyed a long time with that success of that photograph.
Now, did you know instantly that Leonard Bernstein would be a great teacher, one of the best communicators
No, and I hadn't
ever?
realized, Ron, I hadn't realized either that he'd been teaching up in Brandeis in good old Massachusetts here, and I had no idea he's a born teacher, wanted people to learn, and after we did the 7 programs with us on Omnibus, which fortunately are available on CD, which is wonderful, David Thomas, who worked with Bob subsequently too, had gotten all of those out wonderfully well, and then Roger Enga did the young people's concerts on CBS, which was another wonderful area for him.
So after the great success of Beethoven's Fifth, did you then offer Leonard Bernstein anything he wanted to do on television? He could.
No, but we kept working. I kept working with him, and we developed a series of things. And he had I don't have all of them right here at mine, but he wanted to do so many ideas he had for music, and I wish I'd brought that.
Did you work with him on the script? Because the scripts are thrilling.
Well, yes. What Lenny would do would be a draft just what he wanted to do, and then we would go to work on the script. And of course, he knew so much what he didn't realize is that, and I was a perfect foil for that, that people did not know what he knew about it. So he would then be forced into making more explanation about it. I particularly remember that when it came to working on the Norton lectures with him, which Harvard wanted him to do eventually, and which he did much against the 12-tone, which was being taught everywhere, the 12-tone thing, and he was against the 12-tone. He thought it had to be the harmonic thing. But I remember this is the kind of thing that would happen, and he would just make reference to the harmonic series, as if everybody in the audience would know what the harmonic series was, including Mary, would not have known what the harmonics. I never studied music. And so then he would realize, and I remember he said, "Don't tell me I have to do the harmonic series." And yes, he had to do the harmonic series. And Alex Ross in the New Yorker, within the last 3 or 4 years, I can't remember, wrote up, "It's the best explication of the harmonic series ever given." And so it has a life of its own now, long after Lenny has gone.